To an outsider, the metric for success in mathematics is simple. You find a problem that has remained unsolved for decades, and you solve it. That is the work that earns the prizes and the international prestige. But we're entering a scenario where a machine can look at a legendary unsolved equation and output a proof that's 100,000 lines long. The logic is verified to be perfect, but there is one problem. No human on Earth can actually read it. This is no longer a thought experiment. In independent assessments like the first proof challenge, autonomous AI models are now successfully solving research-level mathematical problems that haven't even been published yet. This isn't the first time the field has faced this kind of turbulence. A century ago, mathematicians were forced to formalize the rules of logic for the first time. Today, the speed of AI creates a similar pressure to reevaluate how the profession operates. If a computer can output a correct result, but human minds cannot follow the path it took to get there, we have to ask what the actual work of mathematics is supposed to be. We often imagine mathematical research as a lone genius at a chalkboard. In reality, modern math functions more like an industrial pipeline. It's a 5-step process. It begins with proof generation, moves to verification, then to explanation, on to acceptance by the community, and finally, canonicalization. Right now, AI tools and formal proof assistants like Lean are supercharging the first 2 steps. They generate the raw logic and then automatically verify that every single line is mathematically sound. Because machines can run these checks 24 hours a day, the front end of the system has effectively decoupled from human limits, pouring a massive volume of raw output downstream. That volume hits a wall at the 3rd node, explanation. This is where AI currently fails, because being mathematically correct is not the same thing as being readable. When a human writes a proof, they naturally include what's called natural friction. A mathematician will skip through the easy steps, but pause to deeply unpack the most difficult insights. This tells the reader exactly where the aha moment is located. An AI blasts through both trivial steps and major breakthroughs at the exact same speed. To a reader, the entire proof looks like a flat, featureless wall of text, where nothing seems more important than anything else. A proof might be logically perfect, but it is effectively useless if it strips away the human educational process required to understand why the result is true. This leads to a collapse at node 4, acceptance. Traditionally, a proof is accepted when it is reviewed by human referees for a journal. But the sheer volume of AI-generated work is already overwhelming the volunteer referees who keep the system running. Even if a paper is published, it still faces the final and most vital stage, canonicalization. This is the uniquely human work of organizing scattered proofs into a coherent, elegant theory. AI cannot do this. It cannot write the textbooks that engineers, physicists, and students rely on to apply math to the real world. That requires a human consensus on the best way to teach and organize knowledge. By generating infinite data at the start of the pipeline, we are inadvertently breaking the human mechanisms that allow us to actually use that data at the end. Terence Tao describes this systemic failure as proof indigestion. It's an imbalance between how fast a machine can talk and how fast a human can listen. For 2,000 years, we lived in an era of proof scarcity, where every new result was a hard-won treasure. We are now pivoting to a vertical spike of proof abundance. History shows that when a scarce resource suddenly becomes limitless, the entire culture surrounding that resource has to rewrite its rules to survive. The math community can no longer define prestige simply by who generates a correct answer first. If a machine can do that automatically, the first answer becomes a commodity. The value must shift toward what we call proof digestion. This is the uniquely human work of curating, explaining, and simplifying raw machine output until it can be understood by the next generation. Without that work of extraction and explanation, we are left with a massive archive of verified results that exist on a server, but never actually move into our textbooks or our collective understanding.